evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Dennis Stockman, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Navy is Chief Petty Officer David Osborne. We warmly welcome the family of Private Leslie Montgomery Prowd, whose story will be told shortly. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria, and RSL Queensland who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony around Australia. During the ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by family and visitors to the memorial. Please stand and join in singing the national anthem. The Australian War Memorial was vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that would help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we'll read a story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private Leslie Montgomery Prowd. Leslie Prowd was born in 1890, one of 9 children of John and Catherine Prowd of the Melbourne suburb of Caulfield. He attended Brighton and Caulfield State Schools before working as a contractor for the County Roads Board. On the eve of the First World War, he was also an active member of the St Kilda Rifle Club. Prowd enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force at Warragul in November 1916, and after a period of training at Royal Park, embarked for England with the reinforcement group for the 59th Battalion. He spent the months following training as a Lewis gunner for the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire before sailing for France and joining the 59th Battalion as it rested near Amiens in June 1917. Prowd arrived on the Western Front in one of the most critical moments of the war. As the focus of the British operations shifted north into Belgium, in an effort to drive German troops away from the Belgian coastline, British commanders planned to break out of Ypres, Ceylon, and seize ground towards the town of Passchendaele. Beginning on the 20th of September 1917, Australian troops fought a number of highly successful bite and hold actions that succeeded in capturing ground occupied by German troops. One of those actions took place at Polygon Wood on the 26th of September 1917, with troops of the Australian 5th Division capturing a significant feature known as Butte after advancing behind a creeping barrage, put down by British and Australian artillery. The 59th Battalion were subjected to a number of German counterattacks as they advanced during the operation, but they were nevertheless successful in reaching their objective and holding their positions over the following days. The success came at a cost, as the 5th Division suffered over 5,471 casualties in less than 2 days of fighting. Among them was Leslie Prowd, who was severely wounded in the leg by a German artillery shell during the attack. He was taken to the 17th Casualty Clearance Station at Remy Siding near Poperinghe, where he died 2 days later. Aged 27 at the time of his death, he was buried in Lissenhoek Military Cemetery, where a small epitaph written by his mother appears on the headstone. In memory of our dear son and brother Leslie, at rest with the Lord. Leslie Prowd is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed beside the pool of reflection. His is just one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Leslie Prowd, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We'll leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over, but in Australia they'll be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. Thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial, and good evening.